Excellent. All right, guys. So, does anyone have any questions about that? Loop choke, any of this sort of stuff there? Again, just put your head on. Classic Alex. Have you tried putting your head on them? You know? The last thing I want to talk about, so again, we talked about the loop choke is a really common thing that people do. I'd say the second most common thing, it's not so much one specific problem, but it's kind of a general problem. So let me get you the knee shield, is using this knee shield as a frame, like so I push in, if I get absent-minded, to kick through and accomplish a couple of objectives. Usually what it is if I'm postured up and I'm trying to like overbear, he's going to kick through and get this underhook. So, yeah, but go back one more time, and I want you to think about just like kicking straight through and punching straight through that same hole. So, right, boom, and he comes up here. It can be a very quick transition to the underhook. If I'm here and I'm low, he'll use it to kick through to punch for a Kimura. So you kick that leg through, boom, and get this Kimura grip, okay? So I want to address both of these really fast because they're pretty simple solutions, at least at the preventative level. Or rather the immediate reactive level. Once they're really sunk in, now you got to respect it, but just sort of some quick go-to. So number one, I'm going to show you guys a really stupid trick with this underhook, right? Now I will note, it might take a little bit of work if their gi is still in their belt, but a lot of times people are wrestling, the gi comes out of the belt anyway. So if it's already out, you're golden. If it's not out quite yet, you might have to work a little bit for it. Mike, you want to say?
Pull it out.
Yeah, yeah, just pull this thing out of here. Yep. So you have the knee shield up, right? We're going to go really slow-mo. He starts kicking through, pummeling that hand through, right? So kick and pummel. What kills this transition pretty strong is this. Like post on the hip. Come up, please. Okay? So we have two quick ways of doing this. Number one is if I time it right, boom, he kicks through, post on the hip. Okay? The next range, he kicks through, elbow wedges. Right, from here, he's at the end of this frame. And then the last one, he kicks through, he gets the underhook. Okay, so I lost this fight. If the lapel's out already, golden. If not, pull it free, feed it to his hand, and then stiff arm. Push into me, please. So I just kind of like elongate. I just put a frame. The more I can get that lapel here, and then it's like feeding and transition. So show that, let's get this side. So number one, kind of early, he kicks through, boom. It's gone. A little bit later, here. I like this one a lot too, because like that arm's kind of mine now. So you can underhook here, pull him in, catch, and then you get your Kimura. If I catch it late, let's say the lapel's out, that's even perfect. He kicks all the way through, boom, it's stiff arm. And this is just a really good little mechanism right here to just keep the lapel, or keep him from coming up into me. Come up into me for a sweep or something. It's like really hard. I can start feeding this behind his back, using this to smash. So this very quickly just prevents that underhook from becoming immediately formidable. Okay? Well, let's talk about the Kimura. I'll switch it this way. Does that make sense, guys? Pretty simple. Post the path. Hand, elbow, lapel. What if, though, I'm low, and he kicks through to this Kimura, okay? So, first and foremost, a very useful instinct to develop, and Kyle, you may want to circle a little more to the left so you can see my hand, is any time, like right away, somebody goes through this Kimura. Go back one more time. As he catches, I catch. So, what I'm doing, you know what, let's do this. Let me get you on your knees. And right in front of me, please. So grab my wrist, right hand. As he pummels over for a Kimura grip, I catch. I bring my hand in, here. What I have is a re-Kimura, okay? So if we go back, let's say you're back here again. So he kicks through, and it's like a quick bite. From here, this is hold really tight. This is very important. I post on his hip, my knee gets close, and then I'm going to posture and basically do a salute to get that hand free. Yep. Very simple. Sometimes it's a Kimura, sometimes it's a wrist lock, sometimes it's a grip break. Just kind of depends on the scenario. My favorite catch from this, I'm going to show you. You guys want the fancy thing?
Yes.
You want the fancy? Y'all are ready. Fancy. We're here. He gets the Kimura. Boom. Catch. And then he's going to still think that he has this. So what they tend to start thinking of doing is bumping into me and getting a sweep. Like a Kimura sweep, like a hip up.
Oh no.
Now I'm behind him.
My hands are stuck.
Just tap. Yep, work that out. So you just kind of transfer legs, and usually you'll either get the Kimura or the back take. So, so that's very simple. I just re-Kimura right away. Okay. I'll also note, not to throw too much stuff at you guys, but we're in the half.
Keep throwing it.
So he has the knee shield. Remember, guys, he didn't have a figure 4, right? So he kicks through, gets this Kimura, right? If I could just sort of entangle, a lot of times they're not as protective, like they haven't clasped this super tight yet. Even where you had it above my knee is fine. I'm going to step this up, right? Start working to pass. There's my arm. Because, guys, the bottom half guard Kimura is basically the setup for a step over arm. They're handing it to you. So all that together, can I go, Jeremy? If you guys don't have a step over arm bar in your practice, don't even worry about that one. But if you have it, that's where it is. So we'll do the underhook stuff first. So number 1 is, if I time him quick, go ahead. Okay. Just defensive. No, you shall not pass. Gandalf in this bitch. Boom. 2, he goes in. Wedge. This is my personal favorite of everything. This is really decisive. I know, Jeremy, you like this one a lot too.
Yeah. It doesn't feel nice even.
Yeah, it's such a strong, even like, dude, anywhere you go. Side control, that wedge is super powerful. 3, I suck. He gets all the way through. Feed, and I stiff arm. This one's the sort of gangliest, but it's like you say you come up into me. It's like I do have some pretty good framing power from here. Definitely enough to start pummeling and working in or smashing him down. So that's the stuff there. Let's circle in the other direction. Pretty straightforward. Just, I mean, actually quite literally straightforward because I'm just locking the lock. Now, if instead I'm low, he goes for that Kimura. My first catch is just this windshield wiper. Like, developing this habit is very useful. Now, let's say you're holding on really tight. What I want to do is, I don't want to just try to pick up, because like if you stay really, really tight, it's really hard to get my hand free. And as I start fucking with this, he's going to start trying to break the grip, and in this fight, and he might, as I'm creating motion, be able to transfer that to a punch. Like, so you punch your hands forward as I'm like wiggling. Now I'm in real trouble. So I don't want to create a bunch of momentum. So my hand finds the hip, I get close, and I post and lift. Fancy T-tail, if he tries to Kimura bump me over, I'm transferring legs. In that case, I didn't really get his leg, but I'm still behind him, and I have the shoulder lock. Finally, since apparently I'm going to show 17 fucking things, we're here. He gets the Kimura grip. A lot of times when they transfer, they're not super protective about where this leg goes. So even like just something as simple as windshield wipering and transferring. I'm here, so you're holding really tight. Big step over the shoulders. Rotation, sit, and finish. If you don't have the step over arm bar, don't worry about it. But if you do, that's where it is. Excellent. Let's start our workout. 1.